Welcome back. It is not Saturday morning. I know. Some people are like, it's not Saturday morning. What are you doing back there? You know what? We decided to throw this video together for you. And I know a lot of folks missed the channel, and I do appreciate all that kind support and everything that we definitely got, over the course of the absence that we were. But anyway, we wanted to throw this video together and be like, what's my favorite revolver? And I wanted to add to that because it wouldn't, didn't want to make the title too long. That I guess I still own, that is still part of the collection. And as we know, the majority of us, I think, like if we want something new, we got to kind of go through that whole bit of like, well, what can I sell to obtain this new thing that I want? I can live without this other thing that I have, or and for me, a lot of times it kind of stems from if it's not something that it's getting to the point where it's like if I haven't messed with it for a while, or I haven't taken it out and to the range sessions in a while, or just something I don't really take out too much, I may be more inclined to get rid of it. But that is not always the case, because there is some stuff that I enjoy having strictly because of a movie's sake, and there is actually one of them on this table that's kind of like that. That's kind of like for the sake of the movie. So anyhow, here's a little bit of quite a bit of a table full of sampling here of some stuff that I really enjoy having. And if I did end up starting to sell stuff, these would be pretty hard to let go. So I guess we'll start there. So there's a couple here that would not be any surprise to many that have been a subscriber to the channel for a long time. So anyhow, let's start with some of the ones that maybe perhaps are surprising to some. So here's got a single action. This is what is this one? This is, it's so hard to remember which ones are which. This is a Uberti made, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, this is a Uberti copy of the old Six Guns. So imported by Cimarron, and this one here is chambered in 3840. If you guys know I'm a big, I grew up watching a lot of the Duke films, so I, obviously had to have, an old school single action cowboy revolver. This one, it's got the aged yellow stocks on it, like the Duke had on many of his Six Guns throughout the mid '60s. I believe actually, when would it have started? I think the first time you actually saw it in his stuff was I saw it in. I think if you look at the date stamps, it's hard to depict which one came out first, but it's a toss up between the Sons of Katie Elder and the War Wagon when he first showed out with his yellow stocks on his single action. And then later I learned actually because for a long time they're always like the 45 long Colt caliber. Uh, the Rooster Shooter that I got that I still have. It's just not worth me selling that because it's such for one, it's kind of a mascot here on the channel, and it's been with me so long and so many adventures, and I would never get anything out of it, because of the way it is, because it's got that antique finish that I kind of did to it and everything. So I know it's just not worth it to take it to a shop and get like $200 for it. It's just not worth it. But this one here has got, basically what I wanted was, it's got all the lustrous bluing and the color case hardening that they do, if you want to call it that. I know some people say it's not the greatest, and mine is not actually bad at all, although I don't really get too, twisted about that stuff. And, this is one that I wanted to actually say, too, that, I was saying that 3840, actually, I learned and read that actually the Duke really liked that. So the Duke liked that caliber. So, but anyway, this is one that I don't mind that it's an Italian copy. You know, it doesn't bother me. It's weird how I really like Colt, but it's not one of those that I just got to be a Colt. You know, it just never grabbed me in that sense. So, but yeah, single action. If you've never tried one of those at the range, that is truly a fun piece to take to the range. And over here on this side, this is a 629. Little what is it, like a 3 inch 629. It's got the combat style grips or whatever they call that with the finger grooves and everything. Uh, it's a dash one. It's a 629 dash one. I saw this. I've always liked these, and I had a. Some of you go back with the channel way back. I had a 629-6, I think it was, dash 6. And I ended up getting rid of it, and always kind of wish I hadn't. And so when I was through a shop and I saw this as a vintage one, I said, you know what? I mean, it's not vintage where it's pinned and recessed or anything like that, but it was an early 629 3 inch, so I just had to have it, and it's a beautiful. It's probably the most beautiful 44 Magnum I've got in the collection, and this one is just super cool. It really is. It's not nickel. It looks nickel. It's just a really polished stainless steel. I think these are Lou Horton edition guns. I believe these are Lou Hortons. So, and it does have the cool, grips and everything like that on it. And even though this is probably not exactly, even though as I started researching it, this is probably not exactly the one that they used, but there's an episode of Tales from the Crypt, the 1990s TV show from HBO. The episode's called Cutting Cards with Kevin Thee and Lance Hendrickson. And they decide, there are these couple of gamblers that go ahead, they add all the time, and he goes, you want to play Russian roulette? He goes, yeah. He goes, you're crazy. He goes, but I got a 44 out in the glove box of my car. And he goes out there and he pulls out this, this like little short barrel 44, and he holds it like this. And I just thought, I'm like looking at that going, that's insane. So, sweet coffee for all the working stiffs. So anyway, that's there. All right. This one here is one that I do shoot it. I've shot it. I don't necessarily shoot it a lot. And it is a Colt Diamondback. It's a short barreled one. I don't know. I think it's like a 2.5 or something like that. I think that's what they, everybody gets all twisted. That's not actually a 2. That's a 2.5 and, a Schmidt, something like that. I don't know. You know what? I'm not I'm not looking to be a historian on these things or anything like that. Like I said, the majority of the time I like these things because of a film, and that's it. So this one here is the Diamondback little shorty, the little snubby, if you want to call it that. I call it that. It's got the old service grips on it. I actually these grips are a little bit old and worn, and the bluing on this is still in pretty good shape. I may actually contact Deer Hollow Grips and get a set of his, because his are going to look a whole lot better than what's on here. But I really like this gun because of the movie Bullet. Steve McQueen. I have always wanted one of these because of that. But my gripe, this is the one thing I really dislike about this particular revolver in this barrel length. Even though I do like the 4-inch because of the movie Brannigan, as most people know, he's been around the channel. But the little short-barreled one, the Diamondback, what I really dislike about it is it's always been expensive. Every time you find one or you see one, somebody is literally trying to wow, what are you trying to do? Put a down payment on a house? Because the prices are just outrageous. And and I'm not going to be that, to me, it's like, somebody says, well, it's overpriced, but dude, whose opinion? Okay, I'm speaking on my behalf, and I'm sure the majority of the people. I'm a working stiff. I'm a paycheck to paycheck guy. I'm trying to put beans on the table and stay afloat. Okay. And then yet still try to buy stuff for myself to keep, it makes me happy. And if it makes you happy, run, don't walk if you can afford to do it. And I'm just, and it's like when, it's just when the things are just like astronomically priced. Okay, well, I'm sorry, I'm not making $10,000 a month. I can't just like bleed out $5 grand just because it just makes for the hell of it. Yeah, it's got some lint in my pocket here. So that's I relate more to the working stiff because I am a working stiff. So that's just how it is. Well, yeah, that's been my gripe with those is the price. Now I got lucky with mine, and it seems to be what I usually do. And a lot of my luck stems from a lot of times just like scouring auctions and waiting and passing off on things and maybe placing a bid here and there, and then but most of the time, 90% of the time, getting outbidded anyway. But that one came from a fella. His auctions. He had some kind of quirky stipulations with it, and I think that kind of shied a lot of people away. But one thing I did notice about it was his prices weren't so outrageous, and that wasn't that outrageous of a price considering what it is, and all everybody else's prices for the thing. So I ended up throwing in the bid, really expecting to get outbidded, but I didn't, and so I threw my dice and I won. So hey, and you too can win. It's just a matter of trying to get the right one. And I'm telling you, it took years of passing on from those before I found out. All right, the last two should come to no surprise. Model 29 Smith & Wesson 6.5. This happens to be my latest one that I bought for Christmas. That's if you guys keep in touch with the radio show. I bought this for myself for Christmas. This is the Dash 10, which I don't mind. It's got it's all the modern touches. The key lock. It doesn't bother me. I don't know. Some people get really twisted about that. It doesn't bother me. But I enjoy this one a whole heck of a lot because I take it out and I shoot it, and I shoot magnums out of it, and it's been a lot of fun. But lately, my ultimate favorite has been my 2020 Python because, and this is the blued version, outfitted with Deer Hollow stocks, the later third generation Deer Hollow stocks on it, and it's beautifully polished blue, and I absolutely love this revolver. I mean, this is one of my absolute favorites. I love this, and I love the fact that we all can go out to the stores and get them now, and they're available. And this thing, I shot so much magnums out of this, and it is tight. It is as tight as it was when the first day I bought it, and I've shot a lot of magnums out of it. I have really enjoyed this revolver, and the timing is spot on. It's strong. It's I love this thing. This has become my absolute favorite. And I wasn't really interested in them in the past. I had a few old ones in the way back in the beginning stages of the channel, as you guys know. I didn't shoot them a whole lot because they were kind of, and I know it's controversial, but they were kind of fragile, and both mine went out of timing, and so I kind of let it, got them fixed and let them go at that. But boy, this one here, because of how rigid it is now and strong, this made me come back around to them. And not only are they probably the most gorgeous revolver made, this is the new 2020 ones. That's the way to go. And I love this thing. I wouldn't trade this for two vintage ones. You couldn't, not mine. This one's special to me because it's the one that I bought. I shot it. It's spot on. I've had no issues with it really, other than shooting dirty lead through it and and it getting kind of gummed up there. But that's just because it was really filthy lead, soft lead, garbage wad cutters that I was shooting, so it's my fault. But I shot most of everything else I got, and I was shooting most of the jacketed stuff in it, and not a single hiccup. My sight has not moved or gotten loose or anything like that, so I don't know. Maybe I got lucky or maybe they fixed the problem, but I did set it right where it needs to be, and I locked the set screw down, and I don't know. I haven't had issues. So, but I love this. Got an orange ramp front sight, so I can actually see it because it's getting harder for me to see stuff. But anyway, there you go. My favorite revolvers. Thanks for hanging out.